Here you look for the best deals. Contact 2's Elliot Weiler in Studio 2B this morning with a special Hey Elliot and a special teenage computer whiz kid who says he can get you the best deal hands down. What, Elliot? What's this all about?
The best deal hands down, Kevin. Yeah, and there's sort of a novel concept here. It's using a human being to manipulate those computer websites that we've all gotten so used to going to for the best fares. Maybe a human can beat the computer, or at least help out with the computer. I'm joined by 18-year-old Mark Becker, who's the brains behind airfaredig.com. And we should tell you, Mark just graduated from high school on Friday. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell me about airfaredig.com.
Well, AirfareDig is a website that I started on my own, and I did that 3 years ago from now. And basically what I do is I look for airfare deals myself rather than relying on computers. And basically when I find those deals, I post them on airfaredig.com.
So you really go through and cull a lot of the sites that people use every day, the Travelocities, the Expedias, the airline sites themselves, but you have some tricks to find the sale fares that might be buried beneath those websites. Is that right?
Right. I go to airline sites individually rather than Travelocity, Orbitz, and Expedia. Sometimes this helps me pick out deals that Travelocity and other websites can't, pick up on their own with their computer technology.
Just because their algorithms, the way they search for fares is different than the way a human being like yourself might search for.
Exactly, that's right.
Okay. You came up with some airline tips on how to find the lowest deals. We made some full screens here to give people some advice on what you can do. One of them is flexible travel dates. Why is that important?
Well, changing your days by maybe 1 or 2 days, or adding or subtracting from your travel plans can change your fare by upwards of $100 sometimes, and it's quite a substantial amount to help you save money.
The next one I actually found out myself over the weekend. You say travel on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Saturdays, and I was looking for some airfare last night. It was dramatically different, particularly on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Are those off-peak days?
Those are off-peak days, and off-peak days obviously are the cheapest days to travel. All other days are historically the more expensive days to travel.
Okay. And you say check fares after midnight. What's that?
It's kind of a rumor to find deals after midnight because that is supposedly when the airfare systems kind of update. They refresh themselves, and you can usually find the deals that have just been released at that time of the day.
And what about Priceline and Hotwire? Do they have some exclusive deals that people may not find elsewhere?
Right. They have access to consolidated fares, which are fares that airlines kind of like to lower, but don't just give out, right out in the open. And they have deals that you can book, but you don't know the details before you purchase them. You kind of have to find out afterwards. So it's kind of, luck of the draw.
Okay, I want to go over some of those real quick. Southwest has some exclusive deals that aren't often picked up by the major sites. Watch for some package deals and some student discounts as well. I want to show what your website actually looks like so people know what they're looking for. I know you have a special welcome to our FOX-2 viewers there. He also picked out some nice things, some exclusive deals or some deals that you found from St. Louis. List these off for me so people know what they can do, where they can go that's cheap from St. Louis.
Yeah, we found some great deals from St. Louis, and one of them is Atlanta for $165. That's on AirTran Airways. Chicago O'Hare for $125. Detroit for $98. Orlando, this is my favorite, it's $165. It's a great destination to go to, especially this summer.
So $165 round trip?
$165 round trip.
St. Louis to Orlando. What airline is that?
That's on Northwest Airlines, and that's good through this fall.
Okay.
Well in advance. And Milwaukee for $145. San Antonio for $185.
Now again, you don't necessarily guarantee that these fares will be there on the travel dates you want. That gets back to the being flexible and traveling on the low peak days.
That's right. They won't be available every single day, but as long as you have kind of a flexible itinerary, you should be able to nail one of these deals.
Okay. And Mark has some of these websites and these tips on our website, myfoxstl.com. I'll link to it from my blog. You can check it out and have fun digging for low fares.